Hey, Tony Gaskins here. Hey, listen, I want to talk to you about something that I notice all the time being online is bitter energy. And YouTube, they send me certain comments. I don't know why, I don't know how it's selected. I don't know if it's like in a response, but of course, if my inbox received 600 comments or 600 emails for every comment, it would be too much. So they send me like 5 or 10 a day. And this morning I got one and it was from a lady and she was like, "Hey Tony, you deleted my comment and that's manipulative and controlling and all of this stuff." And it came to my email and I'm like, "Whoa, what in the world going on?" So I went and I responded to her, and it was a long thing, so I can't remember everything it said, but I see it a lot. And whenever I log in, I have to go to where it says comments. And YouTube, they just hold a bunch of comments as if it's potentially spam. I don't know if it's a bot or if it's the algorithm or what it is reading it. But if it's potentially spam, if a certain word is used, they will hold it in this section. And it may be hundreds or thousands of comments in that section. And I literally would have to take the time to go through and read each one and click approve. And I don't have that kind of time. And I believe on your end, if you see a comment, you can click flag or you can flag it. And so if I believe 3 people flag it, it'll be removed. But the lady, she just came and attacked me. Just assumed that I saw her comment and deleted her comment. So and attacked me. So guess what? Guess what she's gonna have to do? She's gonna have to watch my videos from a new page because that page got blocked. And this is how I run my life. You could talk to my one blood sister. I got one blood sister. She done been blocked. You could talk to my father, my only father, we earthly father. He has been blocked. My mom has been blocked. You hear me? It's people that if I just met them along the way, like a colleague or something, that still blocked for coming at me the wrong way. One thing about me, and I want you to understand this, is your energy is everything. And what you have to realize in 2020 is that you cannot save everybody and you cannot change everybody. And me personally, I don't go lightly with adults because there will be people in your life that you meet that they will make up in their mind that their assignment is to derail you. And if you believe spiritually, then you know they being used by the enemy, by the adversary. Because when you get into it with somebody, think about this. Anytime you get into it with somebody, when you're going back and forth, you are drained. You're drained and it sucks you of your energy. Some people call it an energy vampire. And I don't know who coined the term, but it drains you of your energy. It changes your whole demeanor. It changes the way you look at the world. It changes the way you're interacting with people. If you have children and you've been going at it with an adult, you may take it out on your children. You may snap on your child. You may go off on your child and your child didn't even do anything to you. You just got done arguing with an adult. So now the child come up, leave me alone, I ain't got time for it, leave me alone. And you snapping on the child like, whoa, what's going on? And that's why I talk about when I said the kick the cat syndrome that I heard about years ago, where the boss yell at the man yell at the woman yell at the child go kick the cat. See, I want you to be very aware, not to talk a lot about relationships because that's where I get the most questions. But I'm a life coach. So as a life coach, we're dealing with mindset too, not just relationships, but mindset. And I want you to think about your energy. And especially if you hear online. If you hear online and you're going to be commenting on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube, you still have to be aware of your energy. And even if you have to read somebody, even if you got to check somebody, even if you have to disagree, you still have to evaluate, where are you coming from? Where are you speaking from when you say what you're about to say? And if your blood is boiling, if you're angry, if you have not thought about it and you have not addressed your energy, and you really speaking from a place of pain, hurt, brokenness, now you're not doing yourself any favors. You making it worse on yourself. And every time, every day you act out in this way, you are breaking your life down. You ruining your life. So be very mindful of your energy. And I had a quote that went viral, and it said something like, never speak from a place of anger, bitterness, jealousy, frustration. And it just listed all these different emotions that we feel, that we speak from. You should only be speaking from a place of love. And understand that life is not worth arguing with anybody, especially a stranger. And so one thing about me is, I may leave a comment if I'm, on a certain site or somewhere, and I may, big ups or what have you. If it's somebody that I see and I don't agree with them, I've never to this day, in the years on Instagram, left a comment on a blog page, a gossip page on Instagram. And it's other coaches, speakers, YouTubers, teachers, whatever, authors, that you may go to a blog page and you see this big name person, this celebrity, this life coach, this speaker, and you see them in the comments. And you may see them in the comments every time you go to that gossip page. But I don't operate like that. I just don't believe in putting my energy in the mud. I'm not going to leave a negative comment. I'm not going to argue with a meme. I'm not going to argue with a stranger, because you got too much going on in your life already. You got friends and family who know you in person who need you. So it's cool to engage and to leave a comment and to talk and stuff like that online, but check your energy and ask yourself, where is it coming from? If you're having fun, if you're motivated, then okay, cool. If you checking somebody, but and it's not draining you, you're not losing sleep, then okay, that's what you can handle. But don't ever allow someone you know or someone you don't know to drain you, to shift your energy, to change your demeanor, to ruin your day, because you allowed yourself to be drained of everything positive. And understand this. This is why some people are single because they're working on themselves, and then they are in a positive and productive season of their life where they are growing and they're getting better and they're healing. But then you got a vast majority of people who are single because of where they're operating from. Because they're operating from a place of bitterness, anger, hurt, pain, frustration, which makes them cynical, pessimistic, judgmental, argumentative. So they are operating from that space in their friendships, in their intimate relationships, in their professional relationships, and it's blocking their blessings left and right. So you cannot build and grow and go to the next level in every aspect of your life if you do not check your energy. So you can't grow spiritually. You can't grow emotionally. You can't grow financially. You can't grow mentally. You cannot grow if you have bad energy. because you are disrupting the natural flow of things. You are interrupting and blocking and derailing your blessings because you're not checking your energy. So it's sometimes I may get emailed a comment from YouTube, or I may see a comment on the page on Instagram where it show you all your mentions, and I just look at it and I'm like, that might be why you in the situation that you in. And I feel bad. My heart goes out. Now that does not stop me from hitting that block button, because one thing about me, and you could call me what you want to call me, say what you want to say about me, but you only gonna get to say it one time if it's disrespectful. Understand that. You gonna get to say it one time, and it's gonna be short-lived. You hear me? Because it's gonna be deleted if I see it, and you're gonna be blocked, and you're gonna have to go through all the trouble, if it mean that much to you, to create another page. And guess what? If I see that, it's gonna be deleted and you're gonna be blocked. So that right there gonna take me 2 seconds, and I'm gonna do it with a smile. Okay, all right, have a great one, and I'm gonna keep my energy. You hear me? Because one thing that I refuse to do as a servant is to be abused and to be used for somebody else's pain. That's what Jesus died on the cross for. Jesus is your Savior, and He has made it very clear to me not to try to be Him, not to try to be your Savior, but to speak the truth and understand that if a person don't want to hear something, they ain't got to hear it. But if they want to attack me, then I could remove myself. And I'm going to remove myself without stooping to that same level. So I'm going to turn the other cheek. And on social media, turning the other cheek is block and delete. I made a video on top of 2019, and I'm rolling the same thing into 2020. In 2020, block and delete, because you grown. Only person I'm gonna put up with that's gonna be ignorant, and ignorant in the definition of the word, are my children until they hit the age of 18. If they ignorant after 18, I'm not dealing with them, because at 18 years I raised them, and you still don't want to do right. I personally am not carrying an adult. I'm not carrying an adult. I cast my cares on the Lord. That's His everlasting arm will hold you as an adult. But me personally, I'm not gonna carry an adult. And if that's what you want to do, that's what you can do. But God already let me know in my heart that He didn't call me to carry adults. He called me to share from my mistakes, to teach lessons from my mistakes, for those who want to hear and who can receive an outside perspective and take it for what it's worth. Chew the meat, spit out the bones. Take it with a grain of salt. For those who have the wisdom to do that and know how to apply what applies to them and to ignore what doesn't apply to them. And for those who know that it is not worth arguing and debating with a stranger about your disagreements. You need to sit down and talk about your disagreements with the people in your life who matter. So it does you no good. It is not productive in life to get online and be arguing and debating with a stranger. You're ruining your energy. Sit down with your sister, your brother, your mother, your father, your cousin, your husband, your wife, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your son, your daughter, and I guarantee you, y'all have enough disagreements to work through. than to be online trying to attack and degrade. Come on now. You got to check your energy before you go into 2020 and understand that your life depends on this. Because when you operating from toxic energy, you killing yourself slowly. But you also blocking your blessings, and you are calling poverty upon you. You are calling disaster and tragedy upon you because your energy is going into the world. And whatever goes out, it's going to come back. But when it comes back times 10. So you got to be careful what you put out. Because guess what? Imagine this. I could be using my voice to spew hate and division and attacking people. But guess what? All of that'll be coming back. And it might come back in the form of poverty. It might come back in the form of depression. It might come back in the form of stress. It might come back in the form of physical harm, emotional harm, but it's going to come back. So I want you to understand this, that your life depends on your energy, because your energy is determined by your mindset. So you have to change your mindset in order to elevate your lifestyle. And when you do that, you realize that no one who is unwilling to help themselves is worth you losing your sanity over. That if they don't want help, even when you think about Jesus Christ, he can only enter the heart of the willing. He can only move mountains due to faith. Everything is according to your faith. So that means your mindset, your belief system. So even the Almighty will not do anything for you or to you if you do not believe. You have to be open and you have to believe for you to shift things in your life. So you have to believe that you are vibrating on a higher level and that you deserve more out of life and that you are worth more and that you will attract more. You have to believe that you deserve love and that you are loved and that you are loving and that you will attract the love of your life in order for it to happen. But it all starts with your mindset. So evaluate where your mind is, evaluate where your energy is, and then see what tweaks you need to make. And I'm gonna let you understand this here. And see me, I'm very sensitive to the spirit. So what I mean is I don't go by your interpretation of the Bible, because you have to serve God in spirit and in truth, not in interpretation. Because if it's all based on your interpretation, then that means an illiterate person would not be accepted by God. So how can an illiterate person be accepted by God? By serving God in spirit and in truth, not in letter and interpretation. So see me, I'm sensitive to the spirit because I know that I don't have all knowledge to read every scripture and break it down and understand it fully, and that no one human being does, and that we all are suffering and victims of our interpretation. So that is why you have to tap into the spirit. And I'm sensitive to the spirit. And one thing my spirit has not been convicted about is fleeing from negative, nasty energy. The Spirit of God has not convicted me about fleeing from negative and nasty energy. The Spirit has comforted me and let me know that that is not my lot in life. That is not my calling. That might be somebody else calling to wallow in the mud with people who refuse to grow, who refuse to want better, who refuse to be better, and who get all of their pleasure out of chaos, misery, arguing, debating, being petty, clap back, and we live in that society. I'm not called to that. You might be called to that based on your interpretation of the word or of your calling. But don't speak that on me, because what the Lord has called me to is the block and delete ministry. You hear me? Senior pastor of the block and delete ministry. Because just like when Jesus had to look at Peter and he said, Satan, get thee behind me. If that was today's time, that mean, if that was social media, that mean block and delete. He ain't sitting there conversing. He ain't sitting there arguing and debating with that spirit. He say, Satan, get thee behind me. So this here, I'm talking about, I have this thumb red and jam, ligaments jam. I be on that buttons. I be on that block and delete so hard. Thank you. Goodbye. You could go to the blog site and get in a comment section if that's what you want to do. But me personally, I got too much riding on my calling to be in the mud wallowing with a spirit that was sent by the enemy to distract and to deter. Now, the young lady accused me of deleting her message. Now, understand this. If I see a comment that I feel comes from the wrong spirit, that it's just a spirit of arguing, it ain't a spirit of clarity, it ain't a spirit of dialogue, it ain't a spirit of, if I see a comment, because what you have to realize is when you start your YouTube channel, when you write your book, when you become a life coach, when you start doing the things that you have been called to do, what you're going to have to realize is that you call to certain people. Not everything is for everybody. You call to certain people. But what you have to realize, and this to anybody who's going to use their voice in any way, whether it's written or spoken, you have to realize that you call to certain people. And these people who you are called to are looking to your voice, your message, to be the missing piece of their puzzle. And they will take what they can take from your message and they will apply it to their life. And those people will understand that they won't see eye to eye with you on everything. But they will also understand that the message that is not for them is for somebody else. And they will also understand that just because they don't understand it in that season of their life, it does not mean that it doesn't make sense for somebody else in their season of their life. So they will not go into your comment section to spew all of their stuff and cause confusion for those who are hanging in the balance and in need of that word to help them in the season that they are in. So if you come with a spirit of confusion, if you come with a spirit of discord, if you come with a spirit of arguing, and I see the comment, absolutely 100%, I'm going to delete it. And if you come again and allowing that spirit to use you, bitterness, anger, frustration, I'm going to delete it again. And at that time, I'm probably going to block you. And people say, well, why can't we disagree? We could disagree. But not all disagreement deserve discourse. Not all disagreement have to be discussed. See, if you disagree, that's your right. And that's your life. But don't add confusion for somebody who that is a rhema word for their season in life. If you don't want to do it, you grown. You ain't got to explain that to me. You ain't got to explain that to me. You ain't got to ask my permission. Tony, can I have permission to disagree? No. You ain't got to ask me that. Go on. Go ahead. Do what you need to do. You grown. Do what you need to do. But don't disrupt the work that's being done for somebody who they're in a season and they need that. Because now you got the answer to God. Because now somebody else blood on your hands because you brought confusion. And if you feel like you bringing clarity, then don't stand on the shoulders of another messenger. Put your shoes on and walk in your calling. So what I mean by that is, if you feel like you know something and you've been enlightened on something, instead of going to every comment section of people who you disagree with and trying to start an argument and go back and forth, start your channel. Start your channel. Because you have an audience that needs your voice. You see what I'm saying? Because I know what I know. You know what you know. I'm not going to argue with anybody about what I know. Because what I know has already been proven to me 1,000 times over. So to me, what I know is the truth. To you, what you know is the truth. That's why the Bible tells you in Proverbs not to argue with a fool. Because if what you know may sound foolish to somebody of another mindset. If a spiritual mind is talking to a carnal mind is not going to understand spiritual things. If a carnal mind is talking to a spiritual mind may not understand or agree with carnal things. So that person is foolish or ignorant to your truth. And unless they are coming with questions, seeking understanding, then you are wasting your breath going back and forth. Because when a person is coming with statements, that means that is their truth and that's what they believe. But when someone is coming with a question, that means that they are seeking understanding and they want to create a dialogue to grow from that dialogue by having an exchange of understandings and ideas so that they can better form their opinions. And that is when you are in that space. And so when you start your platform and you go to deliver, you're not in that space. You're in that space when you talking and you working with your mentors and you reading books and you going to other places to be fed, to get your questions answered. But when you come to share, that's because you found your answer from your studies and your experiences. So at that point, when you bring statements, you're not there to argue and debate. You discuss and you have a dialogue with questions, one question leading to the next question. So understand that And this was a whole little session right here. But this getting ready for 2020. If you made it this far on your drive today, or you laying down, kicking around, put "be blessed" in the comments, just so I know, because it's a long video. If you got this far, God bless you. And I just want you to, I want you to understand, I'm not perfect. No human being is perfect. I've only seen it documented that one man walked the earth perfect, named Jesus Christ. And other than that, I have not seen documentation on any other perfect human being. So nobody's going to be perfect. But understand, negative energy and arguing and going back and forth, it never helped anybody. It's never moved the story forward. So I'm not saying you got to come and just, when you talking to somebody, you dealing with somebody, that you just got to be singing praises and you got to agree with everything. But if you disagree, that also means that you don't have to have discourse, that you don't have to sow discord, that you don't have to be a distraction if you disagree, because that's for somebody. And for those somebodies that it's for, they ain't trying to hear what you talking about anyways, because that's you in two different seasons of life. And if they trying to hear what you talking about, then they're going to come to your outlet, to your book, to your blog, to your YouTube, to your channel, to your church, to your service, to your classroom, whatever your outlet is going to be. They're going to come to that. So, hey, understand this right here. Check your energy. Check your energy. The lady today, God bless her. God bless her. I turn people over to Jesus every day. And I say, Lord, do for them what you know I can't do for them. Lord, help them and heal them in the areas that you know I can't. Because, Lord, I can't carry this, because you got me called to so much that if I'm trying to carry people who unwilling to help themselves or unwilling to walk for themselves and they able-bodied, then, Lord, you know I won't finish my mission. So, Lord, I'm casting my cares on you, on your everlasting arms, so that I can remain light and free to serve those who you call me to serve. So, hey, this is Tony Gaston. God bless you. We'll talk soon.